2023 has been a season of contrasts. He has won 3 races, but failed to complete 5 others. His last mechanical failure at Vancouver appeared to have written off his chances for the Drivers' Championship, leaving the battle to his teammate Claude Bourbonnais and fellow Canadian David Empringham. But just when everyone had counted Villeneuve out, this son of legendary Formula One driver Gilles Villeneuve reasserted himself, overtaking Bourbonnais and crossing the finish line first in the most recent race at Mid-Ohio. While still third in the championship chase, Villeneuve again has his sights set on the driver's title. It'll be an uphill battle, and it starts today as ESPN presents the Players Limited Toyota Atlantic Championship from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. In the rolling farmland northwest of Philadelphia lies one of America's most unique oval racetracks, Nazareth Speedway, site of what could be the pivotal round in the battle for the 1993 Players Limited Toyota Atlantic Championship. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bob Barsha. We've had rain all day, and weather could be a factor in today's race, but what everybody's talking about is the championship. As you just saw, Canadian Jacques Villeneuve has launched himself right back into the hunt for the title, so it's now a 3-way battle. Here's a look at the points coming in. David Empringham, who has won just once this year, had just a 6-point lead coming in over fellow Canadian Claude Bourbonnais, a 6-time winner on the season, and Villeneuve is just 22 points out. So all eyes will be on those 3. With me to call the action, a man who knows what it's like to battle Claude Bourbonnais for a title and win it, Brian Till. Brian, put yourself in David Empringham's shoes. How do you handle Claude?
Well, David's been chased down by Bourbonnais. The gap is closing, but what he can't do is let himself hang his head. He can't give up. He's got to reach deep down inside and go for it. He's got to win races. Consistency won't do it any longer. As for Bourbonnais, he's hungry. He's going to do everything that he can do to beat David Empringham and win the championship.
And don't forget Villeneuve. However, it's been Bourbonnais who has dominated on the 3 oval races run thus far this year. He has the pole for today's race, and he's standing by with our pit reporter, a man who has won here at Nazareth and knows how to drive it. Here's Calvin Fish.
Thanks, Bob. Obviously, starting from the pole is very important at any race, but here at Nazareth it can sometimes be imperative for victory. The configuration of the racetrack makes it extremely difficult to pass. The man with that advantage today is Claude Bourbonnais. Claude, the championship is coming down to the wire. If you get in a battle for the lead today, are you going to be conservative?
To a point, really. I have to judge it to see if someone's behind me and really pushing. Well, just have to see how much faster he is, or I'll just have to judge it individually, but I won't take too many chances.
Okay, good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bob.
All right, thank you, Calvin. As you can see, the skies are getting grayer by the moment, and as we said, weather could very much be a factor in today's race. The temperature is in the 60s, very, very humid. We have a light breeze, but there is near a 100% chance of rain, and we'll have to hope we can get this entire race in. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup. Claude Bourbonnais, for the 4th time this year, is on the pole in the Players Limited Rawls RT40. Next to him, his teammate, Jacques Villeneuve from Monte Carlo, Monaco, carrying one of our onboard cameras in today's race. On row 2 will be Bobby Carville with a surprisingly quick performance in his Swift. Next to him will be Bert Hart out of Boca Raton, California, in a Rawls. On row 3, Jeff Barker from Hesperia, California, in a Rawls RT40. Next to Michael Palumbo, the revelation on the oval at Loudon, New Hampshire, out of Arcadia, California. Row 4 will be Billy Rowe from Chandler, Arizona, and next to him, Peter Fawcetta Jr. from New York City. Row 5 will be rookie Patrick Lemarie from Ménil-le-Roi, France, and next to him, the points leader, David Empringham from Willowdale, Ontario, Canada. He'll have a long way to go today. Row 6 will be Colin Truman, coming off his best performance of the year at Mid-Ohio. He was 3rd there. Next to him, Sergei Sortika from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. He'll be a big crowd favorite. Row 7, Jamie Gallus from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Next to him, Jimmy Puglisi from Oceanside, New York, in his very first oval race, his very first start in the Players Limited Series. And all alone on the 8th row, Steve O'Hara from Laguna Hills, California. An oil leak knocked him out of qualifying, but watch out. He's been the runner-up on 2 ovals this year and sat on pole on this racetrack back in 1991. Now let's take a look at the one Nazareth Raceway oval. Brian Till, your analysis.
Well, Bob, it's a tri-oval. It's got actually 3 corners on it. One is just a slight left-hand corner. Turn 2 is very long duration corner, and turn 3 has a lot of banking to it. 3 very different corners, a challenge to get the car to work all the way around this oval.
Our field is on the track, warming tires and engines. There is Billy Rowe out of Chandler, Arizona, and this is the view from our onboard camera. Rowe scans around. We expect A green light this time by, and it will be a rolling start, not the standing start we normally see. To the left of your screen, to the blue and white car number 10, Jacques Villeneuve also carrying one of our onboard cameras. Swerving left and right, warming tires. A very, very wet, humid day here. Now there is car number 9, Claude Bourbonnais, with so much at stake as he brings the field of 15 around. 5 Swifts, everybody else is in a roll, and Claude Bourbonnais draws away from the front row. I can't imagine. Yes, he does get the green flag. Can you believe it, Brian?
No, I can't. I'm stunned. I can't believe the starter would throw it. And look at the battle that we have down here in turn 2. That's Carvel and Villeneuve side by side. Carvel gets in some dirty air and drifts up high and actually is smoking. He's got a problem.
Blue smoke, either tire smoke or engine smoke, but Carville slows. It's like Jeff Barker moving up, and now Carville got close to another car.
It looks to me like the right front wing might be dragging on the right front tire.
Big problems right away for Bobby Carville. Yeah, tire smoke off that right front, and the wing is pinching it.
It looks like he must have had some contact with Villeneuve. It'll be interesting to see if Villeneuve has a problem, but that's definitely cutting that tire of Carville's. He's got to get in or the tire's going to go.
Now the pit entry is on the backside. He needs to get over to his left, our right, and it looks like he has made the pits this time by. Tough break for Bobby Carville. Meanwhile, Claude Bourbonnais, as he has so many times this year, has just rocketed away. You're on board with Jacques Villeneuve, and he is way back in 4th at this point and fading.
Villeneuve is driving back. You can see he's really working the car. He's got a car that's loose, and it could be from that contact with Bobby Carville.
We have 60 laps scheduled. We had heavy rain all day long. I imagine the starter probably had one eye on the skies when he threw that green flag, and Villeneuve in all kinds of problems as Peter Fawcett Jr. moves up.
Very loose, and he's being passed in wholesale fashion. He's going to the back. Something is wrong with that race car. Something dreadfully wrong.
Look at him working the wheels, just sawing at that car in the corner.
Knocked away. Look at Empringham go around the outside. That's our point leader in the series. Villeneuve's going to bring the car into pit lane.
David Empringham started 10th. He is now up to 8th. Jacques Villeneuve comes into the pit lane, so another surprise in the early going here.
You can just tell when Villeneuve came in, that left rear tire is cut down, obviously touched by the right front wing of Bobby Carville.
Now there is Jeff Barker and Bert Hart battling over 2nd place.
That's a good battle here on the racetrack. Looks like Barker's been able to get through turn 3 a little bit quicker as they come down the front straightaway through turn 1.
They started 4th and 5th. They now run 2nd and 3rd, each looking for his best performance of the year. For Bert Hart, that was a 4th back on the oval at Loudon, New Hampshire. For Barker, a 3rd on the street circuit at Trois-Rivières.
Hart was able to get the draft, but he can't quite get up beside Barker. It looked like Barker had a little more straight line speed on him.
Very tough racetrack to pass on. Slower traffic up ahead. Now that may play to Bert Hart's favor as Barker closes up behind the slower car. Your leader is Claude Bourbonnais. 2nd right now is Jeff Barker. 3rd is Bert Hart. In 4th place, Mike Palumbo running well. And in 5th, Peter Fawcett Jr. We'll be back. Running in 2nd place in the Players Limited Toyota Atlantic Championship. Jeff Barker driving for John Della Pena and Lynx Racing. Della Pena is on a campaign, wants to find the drivers of the future in the top flight open-wheeled series in America. And, of course, that would be the PPG IndyCar World Series.
These are 2 of the young talented guys in the sport, too. It's nice that they have got an opportunity to run. Looks like Barker's able to pull out from Hart a little bit. We can't quite tell if lap traffic had something to do, because now it looks like he's closed back up on him.
Now the 35 of Mike Palumbo trying to get up into that battle, and he drops back again. Palumbo was a revelation on the oval at Loudon, but he suffered a flat tire, and that hurt him. Jacques Villeneuve in the foreground going around slower traffic. Now Bert Hart will make his bid for 2nd place. And he gets it. So Hart gets around Barker.
Very nice move into turn 3. That's really one of the better passing areas on the racetrack, but look at Barker come back at him.
And there is Mike Palumbo in that dark Swift with the yellow front wing.
This battle that's between Barker and Hart has allowed Palumbo to close up on that.
Mike Palumbo goes down to the inside, and he goes around Barker. So put Palumbo now up into 3rd, Barker down to 4th.
Palumbo might become the revelation of Nazareth also.
There is Claude Bourbonnais, the race leader. Continuing to draw away from the field. He was first on the racetrack at Phoenix when the season opened on the 1-mile oval there. but he was knocked back to 4th place for not respecting the pace car and passing the pace car under yellow. Then he won at Milwaukee, he won at Loudon, and he could win here today, and that win could put him up into the championship lead. 2 races to go following today's event here at Nazareth.
On trying to claw his way back up to the front after that cut tire in the early going.
See the large cushion used to hold the drivers' helmets up. Now Peter Fawcetta Jr. in the green and white pulling up on Jeff Barker, who continues to go backwards in this field, Brian.
Yeah, you can get the car set up to qualify well on an oval, but then they can go away. You never know which way the car is going to go. And we can't quite tell what handling problem Jeff Barker is having, but he's definitely dropping back into the pack.
What has this weather been doing to them, particularly in terms of getting the car set up?
I mean, it makes it incredibly difficult because the weather was so much better yesterday. It was really kind of a guessing game as to which direction your car is going to go. As Fawcetta makes the move on Barker down in 3, it's the same place that Jeff Barker's been passed by the last 2 cars. That's now 3 in a row, and they're each getting him at the end of the back straightaway. Looks like he's not getting a good run off of turn 2.
Now back up to 2nd place, where Bert Hart is challenging once again. Mike Palumbo up there with Hart. There goes Colin Truman in the red car, coming off that great 3rd place qualifying and finish performance on his home track at Mid-Ohio.
And Bert Hart wants to get through this lap traffic as soon as he can. He wants them to heed the blue flags and get out of the way and let him through, because he's got a very hungry Mike Palumbo on his tail. He wants to be held up as little as possible, and Palumbo wants him to be held up as much as possible. Look at this, 3 wide. Palumbo's going to try him, and he gets him. Lap traffic hurt Bert Hart.
Great move by Mike Palumbo. Now Hart comes right back, looking for a way around the outside. And that is Jacques Villeneuve coming up quickly underneath Bert Hart, trying to get his lap back.
Villeneuve is flying around this racetrack. He wants Palumbo now, and then he's going to set his sights on Bourbonnais and try to get his lap back. If you do that on an oval, it's not a bad idea, because if the yellow flag comes out, a full course yellow, he can move back around in line and then charge back through the pack again. He's hungry. He wants his lap back.
We'll be back with more of the Players Limited Toyota Atlantic Championship in a moment.